Hello, my name is Adrian, and my teaching games for understanding framework will be for 3 versus 3 basketball. How I will shape the game is that my tactical problem will be creating space for offense, and the tactical decision I will need them to learn is where and when to move when they do not have the ball. So more advanced players can learn more advanced drills such as off-ball screen, so plays that are relevant or already invented in basketball. But for novices, it will be learning when and where to move as well as when to pass. So in order to do this, I'll modify the rules of the game to make it so that my players will encounter difficulty of not running into space and therefore not being able to facilitate offense. So I predict that it can be that the score is very low, or it could be that no team scores. So the first thing I'll do to modify the rules of the game is to only allow passing. So I will omit dribbling or shooting. This forces them to pass. And what I mean by that is that for the scoring system, instead of shooting into the rim, I'll need them to pass similar to captain's ball into a marked area, such as the no charge zone underneath the rim. I can mark it out with a cone. So they need to pass the ball to a teammate inside this area in order to score. So for example, like captain's ball, just pass into the no charge zone underneath the rim, and that can be like 1 point. After that, they will switch possessions. Another way to score, to encourage them to pass and ultimately to move into space, is for them to make 5 passes. But then if the additional rule of that you cannot pass back to the same person who passed you the ball, so this will make it so they have to move instead of constantly passing between 2 players, which I will predict will happen. Lastly, at the same time, to encourage defense as well as this offense, because it is an offensive drill, but defense is also relevant in basketball. I'll modify the rules so that the defense has a chance to score and not all the players are just focused on offense. So the objective is moving into space, so I'll make it so that interceptions by the defensive team are either 1 or 2 points to motivate the defenders to defend harder, thus forcing the offensive players to really try and move into space. Additionally, in progression of this trio, in game 2, I can also add the rule that interception results in loss of possession, which is similar to the game of basketball itself. But then other rules would apply, such as when the ball goes out of bounds, it's turnover, change of possession, or travelling is also a violation of the rules. And for the practice drill, I will teach them the 5-man out passing, or the star drill for the more advanced players. So 5-man out passing will just be everybody outside of the court, and then whoever passes the ball just has to run into open space, and the other players just move into the space in between that the initial player has created. Okay, so the cognitive and psychomotor aspects that can be trained is that cognitively, I can get them to recognize open space and associate it with an opportunity for successful pass and offense. And for psychomotor, get them to learn to explode of the movement and pacing, because I notice I feel that it will be an issue that people will constantly run at their 100% speed. So we need them to pace themselves so that they will catch the defenders off guard. Lastly, as stated, progression, I can make it harder with more rules, such as the intervention leads to possession change. And for regression, I can make it easier by introducing shadow defense. And then one thing that I did not touch on is that when I'm doing Q&A with them after the first initial game, I'm expecting, as I said, them to not score, or maybe even possibly a low score. So the questions I'll be asking them is like, what challenges do you face? And then I'll dive deeper into what they say. So for example, some challenges I predict is that they will say that it's too cramped, they couldn't pass because the defense is very tight. And I will continue probing at them and ask them, why do you think it's very cramped, and why do you think the defense is so tight? What do you think you can do to make it better? What do you think your players, your teammates can do to make it better, or what they did well or did not do well? And then I also ask those that won, or those that were on the winning side, like what was your strategy, and how did this strategy help you in ensuring that you managed to win, or you managed to defend them so they couldn't pass. Yeah, then I will use the 5W1H when possible, when applicable. So who, what, where, when, why, and how. And that's it for my framework. Thank you.